We're looking at standard A5C, which says solve systems of two linear equations with two variables for mathematical and real-world problems. I've already shared in a previous video with you an example problem and how to solve that example problem using the elimination method. I'm going to take that same problem and show you how you can use a TI-Nspire graphing calculator to solve the systems of equations. So here's the problem. The manager purchased a total of 21 coffee mugs and keychains. Each coffee mug cost $8.50 and each keychain costs $2.75. If the manager spent a total of $132.50, how many coffee mugs did the manager purchase? So, before we can use the calculator, we still have to set up a systems of equations given the information in the word problem. So the first thing I would suggest is that you identify variables for the objects in the problem. So we're talking about coffee mugs and keychains. I just decided to use X for coffee mugs and Y for keychains. So now that we've identified our variables, we can set up two equations. So based on the first sentence, a manager purchased a total of 21 coffee mugs and keychains. If I add the coffee mugs plus the keychains, that's going to equal a total of 21. So the first equation that we can set up is X plus Y equals 21. We know the cost of each coffee mug as well as the cost of each keychain. So if we take the cost of each coffee mug, which is $8.50, and multiply that times the number of coffee mugs that the manager is going to purchase, then we take the cost of the keychain, which is $2.75, and multiply that times the number of keychains the manager is going to purchase. That equation is going to equal the total amount of money that the manager spends to buy the coffee mugs and keychains. So we have our two equations. So now I am going to turn on the TI-Nspire calculator, and from your home screen I'm just going to use the scratch pad. So I'm going to hit the scratch pad button on the calculator, and here I am in the scratch pad. So I'm going to go to menu, then I'm going to go to algebra, which is number 2. Then I'm going to go to escape. Algebra is number 3, not 2. So we're going to go to number 3 for algebra. We're going to go to number 2 in that menu, which is solve systems of linear equations. And we get this box. It says number of equations 2. That's good. Variables XY. I'm using the variables XY. You could change it if you were using different variables at this point. I'm just going to hit tab until I get to OK and hit enter. And then this opens up in the scratch pad. So I'm going to take the two equations that I set up and I'm going to enter them here in the calculator. So the first equation was X plus Y equals 21. The second equation was 8.50 X plus 2.75 Y equals 132.50. Once I entered those two equations, all you have to do is hit enter and it will give you the solution of the system. So we get the answer 13.8. So that means the x coordinate of the solution is 13 and the y coordinate is 8. So we have to go back to the variables that we identified. X is our coffee mugs, and that's what we are looking for, are the coffee mugs. So how many coffee mugs were sold? 13, because 13 is the x coordinate of our solution.